Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be leaving behind those who disrespect you. Well, I've got 3 emails that I'm going to go through with you today. And the first one's from a woman, the other 2 are from guys. But before we get into it, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about, is I wrote a quote and I want to share with you. And the quote says, "Every person must make a stand for their own dignity, self-worth, and self-respect when it is consistently violated by those who insist on keeping us small. It is not your job or responsibility to make others feel comfortable with the real you. Other people's opinion of you are none of your business. True friends and lovers embrace, accept, and encourage the real you. Those who do not must be left behind. There is no other way. You'll never be happy or reach your full potential by trying to live up to the opinions or unreasonable expectations of others, I should say." So let's go ahead and jump into the first email. She says, "Hey Coach, we met 8 years ago after a car accident. I didn't know at the time, but I had undiagnosed Lyme disease, which I apparently had for 20 years and was exacerbated by the accident. I couldn't function. I lost my job and my place where I lived. As a hunting tactic, I was resisting him. This apparent ex-boyfriend of hers moves in before we even kiss." Well, that's kind of weird. It's like you, in essence, kind of moved in with a friend. There's nothing romantic going on. Sounds like you had a little bit of a fantasy going on there. "We love each other. Illness strife ensues, drags on for 7 years. He had uber traumatic childhood where he grew up in Europe, and it was triggered by my illness and my personality. He's very kind, generous, protective, masculine, but became hostile or withdrawn. Well, when men feel unsuccessful in a relationship, when they get to a place where they feel like no matter what they do, they just can't make you happy, they tend to withdraw. In other words, they've just resigned themselves to, I can't make this girl happy, and they give up. And that usually comes because they just simply don't know what to do to make a woman happy. He says that he's brilliant and an introvert, a techie, and he's also awkward." She says, "I found his coaches and therapists, including John freaking Gottman." I have no idea who that is. "He's excited during our appointments, then would leave and feel really overwhelmed again. He couldn't get a grip on himself. Sounds like he's got lots of issues as well." One of my friends, I was talking to my chiropractor today. We were chatting, and he said, "What you observe," we were talking about watching the evening news and how it's just always negative and how neither one of us ever watch it. He says, "What you observe, you participate in. You can't help." Let's think about it. If you go to scary movies all the time, horror movies where people are getting murdered and slashed and raped and butchered and all those kinds of things, that's going to affect what you focus on and what you attract into your life. It tends, when you watch those kind of scary things, you're always going to be fearful. You're going to be paranoid. What's interesting is, like, when I was talking to him, I said, every time I walk in your office, I can always tell who the new clients are, who the new patients are. And the reason being is they almost never look you in the eye. They have a hard time making eye contact. Most people in general are like that. You don't believe me, you just go out in public and start making eye contact and smiling at people and see how many of them actually will make eye contact with you and smile back. It's because the average person, that's how they view themselves. They're not really connected to themselves or their bodies, and therefore they don't feel comfortable looking another human being in the eye. Or if you're standing there talking to someone face just like this, where your frame is facing them, and I talked about this in the video that I did, Body Language That Attracts Women. Literally, over the course of a minute or two, you'll notice that as you're talking to that person, they'll start to turn. They'll turn sideways like this. And literally, they start to kind of move around off to the periphery, whereas you were standing there facing them this way, and now they're like this. I've been having conversations with people where we literally will go around in a circle because they get over here and it's like, I don't want to talk to somebody that's kind of on the side, and they don't realize that, because when you're really connected to your body and your personality and you have a lot of self-confidence, the overwhelming majority of people that you're going to encounter in life, they're just not comfortable being present with you. They just can't stand chest to chest with you. They just feel totally uncomfortable with themselves. It's really a fascinating thing, studying that body language and physiology. And just going out in the world and seeing it. It makes you feel good, because then you start to recognize how the overwhelming majority of human beings that you're going to encounter in your life have a really low self-esteem. And they just don't feel comfortable being present with another human being or looking them in the eye. They're looking down. They tend to be hunched over. They only occasionally, kind of do this. They don't really look at you. Sometimes it'll make you feel like you're an alien, like I do. Sometimes I feel like I'm a fucking alien from another planet. It's like the average person, man, they're just so disconnected and so checked out of their bodies and life and what they want that they just can't be present with another human being. And they wonder why they struggle so much in life. She says, he never did the work on himself, and he said, living with my ADD Lyme ways was like having someone wave arms in his face all the time. Well, we tend to not like in another when you're connected to a part of your personality and you encounter somebody else who's not connected, they're not going to like that. If you're a very happy, positive, glasses half full kind of person and you encounter somebody who's kind of sad and depressed and miserable and pissed off at the world and blames others, they're not going to like you very much. They're going to attack you. They're going to put you down and try to keep you small, just like I talked about in the quote that I shared earlier. He developed Lyme symptoms, it's STD as well, and now equates my presence with him dying, his words. Oh, that's nice. So in other words, he's saying, yeah, when I'm around you, I feel like I'm dying. Is that really somebody that you want to be around? You want to be around somebody that uplifts you, that makes you feel good about yourself, not somebody that just makes you feel guilty or makes you feel like shit every time you're around them. He says, but he's racing motorcycles and doing other things while dying, supposedly. She says, after seeing a hypnotherapist, he finally said, I'm out. His friends affirmed his choice, which also broke my heart. They were my friends too. He gave me $3,000 for storage space in 3 years, helps with my computer, etc. But I'm homeless and I'm too chaotic to treat much. I have to live with friends and in my car. FYI, the year before our breakup, I started studying masculine, feminine polarity. I wove together different schools of relationship thought: marriage, fitness, giving, unconditional love, nice guy and gal, Rory Ray, feminine receiving, lean back, don't overgive, don't over-direct, criticize, etc. Too little, too late. He claimed Way the superior man told him leave if your woman was too much of a learning edge. In our year apart, he read tons of relationship books, said he realized our relationship failure was his fault, said he was a pussy and should have demanded I leave years ago. And she puts in parentheses, instead of doing work. He was mad I even tried to fix it. Said instead I should have screamed, fix this, blame me, and therapist for him failing to step up. Well, it tells me he doesn't want to take any responsibility for his own issues. And it's not your job to fix this guy. It sounds like, both of you obviously had a lot of problems, a lot of issues going on, and probably that was one of the things that attracted to you to one another in the beginning, but towards the end it was also one of the things that was driving the two of you apart. Like, I remember my dad years ago, I got him eating pretty healthy and stuff, and he started dating this woman who was on like 30 different medications. And when 6 months, he was having he developed colitis, and he'd completely gone off his diet and was eating unhealthy. He was like literally shitting blood, and he was on 4 or 5 medications. I was like, it's like I said earlier, what my doctor friend would share with me earlier. What you observe, you participate in. And so this woman that he was dating had all these health problems. Well, guess what? He started developing health problems. It was just an unhealthy situation. She wanted nothing to do with working out, wanted nothing to do with eating healthy. Her attitude, and she would say this, hey, if I die a few years earlier, I don't give a shit. I'm going to eat what the hell I want. And she passed away 3 or 4 years ago. Suddenly got ill, and she just didn't want to take care of herself. And I was happy for my dad. Once he stopped dating her, he got off all his medication, got back to eating healthy, started going to the gym, started working out, and he hasn't had any health problems since. She continues on, said he should have gotten us separate places, renewed himself, and then bring us back to work on the relationship. But then again, he never even did this. He said nothing was wrong with me, even if I was ill. He simply froze from all the trauma and ended the relationship. Okay, and then she says, okay, great. Which one of us has paid a huge price for this breakup? She says, I want to scream that. He's happy now. I want to kill him, but am happy he is feeling better. So you're obviously still pissed off at him. She says, I still see him 1 to 3 times a week. There's closeness, but no chemistry, although from our first year and last weekend, he's playfully said that let's both of us get inside one huge coat. And she included a picture of the two of them in a clothing store. They're both wearing a big giant coat. He says, our entire time he sent mixed signals. One night drunk, he said, I want you to know there is no hope of ever being together again. I failed you. Then he looked at me a moment and said, I don't know what's possible. I just know that right now I want to hang with my friends, rock climb, ride motorcycles, and play in my garden. Meanwhile, I'm a bag lady living half in and out of a car and in friends' places, and I'm in so much pain from my illness and all this loss and harm. I love him, I miss him, and I also hate him at the same time. And she says one of her doctors suggested this ceremony. Number 1, say thanks for all the good things. And number 2, say that you did X, which meant X for me. And number 3, say, and I forgive you. She said, I would simply like to help in formulating respectful language that expresses a grievance in the way that might challenge and inspire him to reconsider his decisions and actions around me. A slim hope that he looks back and steps up. Well, I gotta stop you right there. I mean, the bottom line is you're ignoring the fact that this guy sounds like he's got more issues than you do. I mean, you never want to try to date somebody that's got more issues than you. And I know you're still hung up on this guy and you're hoping you can fix him and make him into the type of guy that you really want. But I mean, you're an attractive woman. I mean, I look at the picture, she's very pretty. You should have no problem meeting a new guy. You need to get out there and live your life and stop trying to live in the past. The problem is it's really time to let this guy go. He's not good for you. It ran its course. I mean, you guys were together 7 years. It's time to I know it's not what you want to hear, but it's time to let it go. And what I would say to him, just be honest with him next time you see him. Say, you know what, I love you and I'd like to continue seeing you romantically, but you got to make an effort. And if you're not willing to make an effort, you need to let me go so I can move on and live my life and find somebody new. I wouldn't call him. I wouldn't reach out to him. I wouldn't do anything. There's no point in it. I mean, there's a whole list of bad things going on here, and at some point you got to say, you know what, enough's enough. I mean, this is just not a healthy situation. He's just not a good match for you. And he's already he's given up in his mind. He doesn't even want to try at this point because he doesn't think he's capable of doing it. It's like you never try to keep somebody who doesn't want to keep you. He's not willing to make an effort. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that he's this way. You need to be grateful for what you had, and what you really need to do is work on yourself and getting your body healthy and getting a job so you can start earning some income again and get yourself a stable place instead of kind of couch surfing all the time with different people. And get yourself in a stable home, stable situation where you're healthy. And I highly encourage you to read Dr. Robert O. Young's book, The pH Miracle, and start eating an alkaline diet. It will help. You will definitely feel it. Get together with your doctors. Find some doctors that will support you in this and encourage you to do this. And for any of those of you that are considering jumping into the pH Miracle, if you've been eating a very unhealthy acidic diet, you want to work into it slowly. You don't want to just go 100% alkaline from, if you're eating turkey or you're eating hamburgers and fried foods and pork and Coca-Colas and you hardly ever eat a vegetable, you don't want to go to eating completely alkaline because you'll make yourself sick. Because what that will do is you'll get what's called a healing crisis, where you start eating 100% alkaline, your body goes into like super detox mode, and it'll be very unpleasant. You'll feel nauseous all the time. You feel sick. You probably get the cold. You get runny nose. You want to, and Dr. Young goes through that in his book. There's a slow process. You want to just start with one thing at a time and work into that diet. But you got to take care of yourself and get around somebody who's healthy, somebody who loves you and accepts you for you. I mean, from everything you shared in this email, this guy is trying, for the most part, is he says, "Oh, it's all my fault," but then in the same breath, he's basically blaming everything on you and not taking any responsibility for all the problems he has. It's not your job to make this guy into the ideal that you want. You need to do the work on you and take care of you. That's the only person that you can impact or affect. And get yourself to a place where you're happy and meet a guy that already knows this stuff. Not a guy, this dude's a fixer-upper. He's got like I said, he's got more problems. You may have this illness, but he's got a shitload more problems than you do. And you're just better off without him. But, like I said, just matter-of-factly tell him I love you and I want to work on things romantically. I'm not interested in just being friends or having something platonic. I'd like you to take me out on dates and romance me, sweep me off my feet, make mad, passionate love to me. Tell him those things. And if he says, well, I'm not willing to do it, I can't do it, then say, great, give me a call if you change your mind. And then just walk and never look back. Don't make any effort. Don't call this guy. Stop running after him. Stop trying to fix things. Like I said, you're just ignoring reality. It's like Ayn Rand said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. So let's jump into the second email. This guy says, Dear Coach, my girlfriend of 23 years broke up with me a few days ago. I'm 28, I'm studying to be a doctor, and I will sit for my boards in a month. Our relationship lasted for about a year. The first 6 months were great, and the second 6 months became more monotonous, and I wasn't listening to her. I started trying to solve her problems, and more, and I wasn't being fun anymore. She started to gain attraction for a coworker of hers at a sushi restaurant that she works at. She's currently applying to grad school and working. Remember, it's what I teach in my book. Hang out, have fun, hook up. And it sounds like the last 6 months you weren't a lot of fun to hang out with. You stopped dating her, you stopped courting her properly, you stopped being the guy that she fell in love with. But what did she do to work on the relationship? What did she do to fix it? Nothing. She started withdrawing and developing feelings for some other guy. That's not really, think about it. You're married to somebody like this, say 10 years in, you got a couple kids, you got busy, maybe you're traveling a lot for work, you get caught up in life, you get complacent, you stop dating, courting her. Next thing you know, she's fucking your next door neighbor. That's the kind of woman that you're dealing with here. This kind of woman won't work on anything. She just withdraws and starts finding the replacement. She just throws her hands up because she doesn't know what to do. That's not a good person. That's not a good kind of person to be in a relationship with. This is the kind of woman you have like an open relationship with. Because when her needs aren't being met, she just goes and looks for fulfillment in somebody else. He says, I ignored this problem and told her I didn't like that they flirt and such at work. And over time, they didn't have any contact, but recently, I started to notice we were having more problems. I became more jealous and didn't like it when she came home one night and got this guy's number at a bar. Sounds like she's already kind of left the relationship, dude. I lost my temper and stormed out of her apartment, turning her roommates against me. She told me she needs some space to think about things and why she's having flirtatious behavior continually. Well, big reason is you guys ain't having fun together. It sounds like it's just a bunch of drama, and you're not dating and courting her properly. When you are around her, you're trying to control her and micromanage her life because you feel jealous and insecure about yourself. He says similar episodes have happened before where she left and felt the need to dance or flirt with other guys. She was in a car wreck the next day and called me to come and see her. I did, and she proceeded to go home with me for the weekend. We connected during the weekend, and I told her that I have less stress and that we can finally enjoy each other's company without me being all serious all the time. She has anxiety problems and a small drug addiction issue that she bounces to from time to time. That's what we would call a red flag, dude. That weekend, things weren't going well for her, and she told me she's attracted to her coworker, the same guy as mentioned above. Well, she's throwing that in your face because she knows you're usually going to come unglued. She said if we break up, she would probably pursue him. The next day, she called me and told me she needs a break. Huh. Imagine that. What a quinky dink. I did not handle this well and looked up her cell phone bill online, which I have access to. I saw that 2 days after we broke up, she contacted him several times via texting for 2 days straight. I was upset about this and told her she needs to take over her cell phone and not have me in charge of it. She asked why, and I told her because I know she's talking to this other guy, and I flipped out about that. She was embarrassed and mad that I invaded her privacy and proceeded telling me that they are just friends. Sure. She just said, hey, if we broke up, I'd go pursue this guy. So in other words, she says we're just friends. In other words, what she's really saying is I haven't fucked him yet. So as long as they're not fucking, hey, they're just friends. She also felt bad and told me that she loves me and that she just needs this month to think about things while I study for boards. What she's really saying is, I really just need this next month to see if things are going to develop with this other guy, and then I can know that I can kick you to the curb or not, or I'll keep you in backup position. A man who has self-love and self-respect would say, I'm fucking out of here. He wouldn't put up with that. I realized I screwed up, so I messaged her acknowledging I should have invaded her privacy and apologized for talking the way that I did to her. I also accepted that she was seeing this guy and that I wanted to take some time and work on myself, get anger management, etc. She told me that she appreciates the message and was very surprised at my change in perspective and that it meant so much to her. She told me that she wants to take time, but is open to exploring opportunities that present when we reconnect. In other words, I'm open to hanging out, having fun, and hooking up with you and this other guy and anybody else. The next day, she texted me how much she appreciated the message and how she will always love me, etc., and how hard this is on her and how she can't breathe, etc. I told her that I'm not looking to be her friend, that I want to be her lover, and that I still feel that I am, and to take her time and give me a call when she's ready. Well, that was a good thing that you did. And that this is hard for me too. She texted back the next day and said, okay, we haven't talked since. Overall, she has very strong feelings for me, and this I know for a fact. She has such strong feelings that she's exploring her feelings for some other guy. Come on, man. You got to pay attention to that. What's really going on is she's like, okay, and you're in backup zone, and I know that you're my safety net in case things don't work out with this other guy. I can always come back to you. That's basically what she's communicating to you. He says, I have strong feelings for her too, and I don't know what to do now. Nothing. Walk and never look back. You told her, hey, if you want to see me, give me a call. Get in touch. And if she ever reaches out again, you assume she wants to see you, make a date. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Stop being a fucking drama queen when you get together with her. But I personally wouldn't get back together and be in an exclusive relationship with her. I would just treat her as a sex playmate or a fuck buddy or a friends with benefits, because that's all she's capable of. She's not an honest person. Should I wait for her to contact me? Yes. And then set a fun-filled date like you said? Yes. We have still yet to meet up to give each other's things back. Should I use this as an opportunity when she contacts me to have fun too? Well, I wouldn't bring up exchanging the stuff at all. I would just go on with your life, assume she's going to reach out, and continue dating new women. He says, I started to read your book and watch several videos and realized I made a lot of mistakes, and that's why I couldn't hold on to her. It's been hard to balance med school and a relationship. I want to let her know that I realized my mistakes. It's no point, dude. She sent me an email a while back expressing problems we were having. Should I respond to it now? In other words, hey, Corey, is it okay if I start chasing her now? Do you think that'll make her want me back? No, dude. Walk and never look back. She said I needed space, and now you're bullshitting yourself into contacting her. He says also she wanted me to critique a personal statement of hers, which I never got to because we broke up. Should I critique that and send it back? I wouldn't do anything. No. Walk and never look back. That's what it means. Walk and never look back means walk and never look back. It doesn't mean walk and then 5 steps later turn around and go, I love you, I can't live without you, and go running after her. It's like, come on, man. Your advice and help is much appreciated. I want this girl back. Please help me. I'm keeping myself busy with board studying, and I'm seeing someone else currently, and I had one date going on a second one soon, thanks to your advice. Good. Focus on the new girl. Focus on meeting a third girl and a fourth girl. Hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, and practicing the fundamentals that I teach in my book, and you'll do great. And then that way, if you got 2 or 3 girls, and then say a month or so from now, things don't work out with a new guy, and she calls, you can just say, hey, babe, it's really great to hear from you. I'd love to see you. When are you free to get together? Tuesday? Awesome. How about Tuesday, 8 o'clock, grab a bottle of wine, come on over to my place, and we'll make dinner together. Sound great? Awesome. I'll see you then. Gotta run. Bye. Phones for setting dates. All you gotta do. And when she comes over, hang out, have fun, and hook up. Let's get into the third and final email. This guy says, hey, Corey, I surely need your advice. Don't call me Shirley. Last week I was assaulted by a group of men and was badly beaten. I went to the doctor and I was cleared. The next day I went to work and my ex came looking for me after 3 months of no contact. Great fucking timing. I remember one of my girlfriends I had broken up with. I hadn't talked to her in probably 6-8 months, I think it was. And I was with some friends. We were getting ready to go out in my boat, and the phone rang, and it was her. And like literally, I'd just gotten off the phone with my dad, and he told me that his fiance had killed herself. I mean, she was a manic depressive, and she had tried committing suicide, I think 4 different times from the time she was 21. And it wasn't until she was like 52, 53 that she finally, the 5th try, that she did it for good. And I was like, I literally just hung up with him, and I was like, baby, your timing is just impeccable. And I told her what had happened. It was a fucking trip. It's just funny how you get the shit beat out of you, and your ex-girlfriend, who originally you started following me to see if you could get her back, contacts you. It's funny the way the universe works. I think the universe definitely, God has a fucking sense of humor, that's for sure. She patched up my wounds and was wearing the necklace I had given her 4 years ago. Don't get me wrong, I'm still crazy about her, but I felt hurt that she just up and left carelessly bragging about some other guy the last time we spoke. My boss sent me home because I looked fucked up. So I told my ex, I'm going for coffee if you care to join me. I've heard that somewhere. She accepted without hesitation, i.e., she had a high level of interest in hanging out with you. She was surprised that I had lost weight, I got a new car, and I didn't follow her like a little boy. When we walked, she tried to lead me by the nose by walking in front of me. I stopped and enjoyed different things, and she would come up to me. When we got to the coffee place, just my luck, another girl who I'm into was there. I casually walked in with her and said hi to her. My ex didn't like her from the beginning. Isn't that funny how that works? The universe definitely has a fucking sense of humor. I realized that as much as I respect your way, Corey, my ex had disrespected me too much in the past and had led me on. Hey man, I'm not to be your judge. My job is to help you get what it is you want, but also point out the fucking obvious. So if she had disrespected you tons of times, walked all over you, treated you like a doormat, and led you on, obviously the only reason she's contacting you now is because whoever the other dude was she was involved with is obviously out of the picture. She eventually came back to me, so I had reasoned that she would continue the pattern. Well, like Gerald Celente says, current events tend to form future trends. No one will ever do or say anything to you that you don't invite them to do. So as long as you stand up for yourself, but you got to keep in mind, do you really want to get back together with a girl like this? Or you just want to hook up with her and have her as a fuck buddy? It's not really the kind of person you want to have as girlfriend material. So when I drove her home, I didn't go for the kiss. I made my decision to religiously follow your work. I told her, you said you say you made a decision to follow what I teach. Then the girl comes back to you by following what I teach, and then you say this to her. I don't want to see you anymore, and her face went blank. Then I lied to her and said, the girl at that coffee place is actually my girlfriend. It would be disrespectful to her to keep you around in my life. She took up in a rage and quickly got out of my car. Her eyes got teary and said bye, and she walked away. How do you feel about that, dude? Oh, man. Even if she deserved it, that's a shitty thing to do. It's the next day, and when you almost lose your life, it gives you a new perspective. You probably picked up that I still love her badly from the fact that I'm paying you to answer me in this for email coaching. I can't do what you do and get over the fact that she tossed me aside like some innocuous thing. Well, that's pretty much what you just did to her. He says, I'm at a crossroads, though, and I feel that I took my power back by burning the bridge. Okay, well, if you're happy with that, then when you burn the boats, time to move on, dude. On the other hand, I still desire and love her. What can I do? I can't call her because of what I told her. Now I see what I told her was also fucked up. I feel betrayed, but is there any way me and her could work out? Come on, man. Seriously? He says, what now? Please advise. Come on, man. You fucking say something like that to this girl after you've been waiting all this time for her to come back, and then right when you get home, you just can't help yourself. You want to fucking, because you see this other girl at the coffee shop that you were kind of seeing, so you want to rub her face in it. So here's what I would do if I were you. If you really want to do this, It's like, you need to think about this for a day or two before you actually do it. I would call her up and I'd say, honey, I'm really sorry. I was a rude asshole to you the other day. I was feeling like shit after getting my ass kicked, and quite frankly, after the way you treated me over the years and disrespected me and led me on and rubbed another guy in my face, that other girl in the coffee shop, she's not my girlfriend, but she's somebody I was seeing. I just wanted to rub it in your face and get you back. And after I thought about it, I was like, that was really fucking childish of me to do that. It was immature, and I'm really sorry. And just the thought of you walking away out of my car with tears in your eyes, I feel like shit. And so I want to apologize. Call and apologize, and I'd really like to make it up with you. It's not that I don't want to ever see you again. At the time, it was just immature. I wanted to get you back. I wanted you to feel what I felt so many times that you did to me, and now I feel horrible about it. And I just want to see you and hold you and kiss you and make love to you. And I'm sorry for being a dick. And hopefully you forgive me and let me make it up to you by making dinner together. So when are you free to get together? Great. Why don't you grab a bottle of wine, come on over to my place, and we'll make dinner together. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. That's what I would do if I were you. Or you could say, and do nothing, and just let it go. But personally, that's a pretty crappy thing to do to your girl. This girl you've been waiting to get back. You finally get the chance, and then you fucking blow it out of the water when she's like right there, ready for something to happen. But hey, it's your life. You do whatever you want. But if you want to have any chance of patching up, say to her what I said. I mean, you can rewind the video and play that again a couple of times. You say that. She might tell you to take a flying fucking roll at a donut, or she might say, well, I got to think about it. Then you just say, all right, baby. Well, I understand. Give me a call if you change your mind, or give me a call when you're ready to see me, because I want to make it up to you. And just leave it at that, and then wait to hear from her. The next time she reaches out, make a date, hang out, have fun, and hook up. It's that simple. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.